G'day camper. Let's chat about shower awnings versus shower tents versus pop-up en-suites. Whether you want a change room or a shower room or somewhere you can have a shower and put the toilet, each of these may do the job better or worse than the last. So which is the right choice for your camping setup? To be perfectly honest, I'm torn between two of these. We're going to start here with the pop-up tent. How about we have a quick look at the setup time for one of these? So the pop-up tent I'm using in this video is a Wanderer brand from BCF. Retails at $110, or you can get it on sale for about $70. I'll take you for a quick walk around and you can see what it's all about. You got guy ropes, got pegs at each corner. Nothing much to it really. It's a box, here's your ventilation window. That's your flat where your shower hose can come up into. Roof's a bit ugly with those fiberglass poles in it. You get a clip-in shower floor. This is the support poles so that the whole thing maintains its square structure. The other thing I like though is that this could be a towel rack or a toilet paper holder. Got a little pockets here for your soap and shampoo and stuff. There we go, poo with a view. These support posts up here, you can see there's a bit of a kink in the fiberglass pole because it's broken there, and you can see what happens when the fiberglass poles go. Pro number one, wow, these things are light. The awning is 7 kilos, the Instant Up Double is 7.9. These come in between 3 and 4 kilos. Pro number two, when they're packed up, they're super thin and compact. You're not going to have any trouble finding space for one of those in your setup. Pro number three is these things are actually more stable than they look. I don't always put the support bars in, but if there's a bit of a breeze up, I'll put in the support bars and peg it down. If it's nice and still, just pegs through the base will do. Pro number four is the pop-up tent is your cheapest option. As I said before, $70 on sale. It's pretty hard to go wrong at that. And pro number five is it's a pretty good short-term base camp option. Set it up anywhere around the camp that's convenient for you. Go out for day drives. Don't have to pack up until you're ready to leave. My list of cons for the pop-up tent is bigger than the list of pros, which might say something about whether I recommend this option or not. Con number one is that setup actually isn't really that quick. Sure, it goes fast at first, and if there's no wind about, you'll probably be happy. Putting in those cross supports, pegging each corner, pulling the guy ropes out, doesn't really put you in much better position time-wise than any of the other two options. Con number two is these things don't really feel built to last. They really have to have quite lightweight material, because if it was heavy duty, the spring frame wouldn't be able to put enough tension on it. Con number three is the fiberglass roof support poles tend to be brittle and snap really easily. Now you might have noticed I was wearing gloves when I set it up, and that's because in both of these that I've had, those poles have snapped and the splinters, fiberglass splinters, get in your hands and it is hell for days. So I wear gloves when I'm setting that thing up. Not only do you get fiberglass splinters though, but if it snaps when you're trying to put it in position, like it has on this one, it punches a hole through your tent. Con number four is that the spring frame inside of them needs to be really thin and it needs to be able to move within the fabric by design, otherwise it's just not going to collapse and fold out. Therein lies the problem, the thin edge of the steel being allowed to move around inside the fabric, it chafes holes. Con number five is the maximum weight they can hold. It tends to be around about 2.5 kilos. That's just enough for your shower head and maybe a couple of toiletries. Go any heavier and you run the risk of that whole thing collapsing in, probably while you're in a compromising position, like showering. And it makes sense that the final con, number six, is related to pack up. These things can be really tricky to pack up. I know kind of how to pack them up. Even still, that takes a little bit. And then if you go ahead and get a double, yeah, look, you're not in for a good time. So then, who is the pop-up shower tent for? I think these are just perfect for occasional use. Say you want to stay at one of those private property camps where you need to have a cassette toilet. Or maybe you tend to go weekend camping where you don't need a toilet or shower. But this time you're going on a longer trip and you might like to set up for a shower every second or third night. You probably don't want to spend a lot of money if it's just going to come out once a year. But for like longer stays or more frequent use, personally I want something a bit more durable. If you have roof bars on your vehicle, you might want to skip the pop-up shower tent entirely and wait to hear what I have to say about vehicle shower awnings. Bolted to the side of my car is the Kickass shower awning. Is it Kickass or Kickass? That's a debate for another video. It's their basic model, which retails for $149, but I've actually seen these go for 99 bucks, which I think is just insanely cheap. I will have a standalone review for this one coming soon, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you want to catch it later on. But for now, let's have a look at the setup time for this one, and then I'll give you a quick walkthrough. Kickass tent, let's have a look. Up the top here, you've got adjustable straps all around so you can raise or lower the top height of it. In the back there, the red straps, that's the ones you roll the awning up with. Down the bottom, you've got spots for pegs, all of them adjustable. Again, so you can get that whole thing sitting higher or lower as you see fit. Let's take a look inside. All silver lined, which is reflective so nobody outside can see your shadow from inside. A little pocket here for your soap and washcloths. Another one on this side. Up here, that's where you attach your little shower head. You can mount a heavy shower on that. Got a zippable flap here, and I reckon that's for if you have one of those instant hot water systems, maybe hanging off the side of your canopy on your ute or something, so you could, well, I suppose you could hang your water system maybe off the roof rack and have that sitting there so you've got your temperature and flow dials. Pretty basic, pretty simple. There's a lot of sky. Ooh, I've been hanging for this bit. It's time for the pros and cons. Pro number one. This is the quickest setup and pack up of all the options we're looking at here today. There is a little bit more setup time involved the first time around as you adjust the straps at the top and the bottom to get the perfect height you want. Pro number two, this thing's still really quite lightweight. It's only 7 kilos. Pro number three, this is actually still a pretty cheap option at around $100 to $150 for a basic model. Unless you don't have roof racks, then adding the cost of the roof racks makes this a crazy expensive option. Pro number four, there is no need to find somewhere to store it in your vehicle or in your camper trailer or your caravan because it just lives mounted on your roof. Pro number five kind of leads on from pro number four, is that because it's on your roof all the time, whenever you go down to the beach or the river for a swim, you've got a quick 2-minute change tent ready to go. Pro number six, with the open top and the open bottom, airflow gets through and it dries really quick. Pro number seven, this is actually quite unique to the shower tent, is that it can hold way more weight than either the pop-up or the fast frame tent because the roof of your vehicle is kind of the limit. The first con is a funny one actually because I just called it a pro like 2 minutes before. It is the open top and bottom leaves you kind of exposed, so anyone can see into your shower from the top. It lets all the mozzies in, all the flies in, all the sand flies in, the snakes, the toddlers. The shower awning is the least private option. Con number two, really simple one. It's another thing you have to pack up if you want to leave your camp for a day trip, come back to the same base camp later on. Con number three, you're going to need a roof rack to mount it. You can't really get away with just roof bars because you have to mount the bars so close together that they'd be useless for anything else. You wouldn't be able to carry a kayak or a bike or anything else up there. You wouldn't even be able to mount a shade awning to it. Con number four is that there's no roof on it. Now that might not seem like too much of a problem, except if you want to use it for a toilet room and it's raining, that might not be the most pleasant toilet break. You can get models that do have a roof, but that of course comes at extra cost, extra weight, extra size, and a little bit more setup time. The final con, number five, relates to double models of shower en-suites. Choosing a double one of these adds extra setup and pack up time, significantly higher cost, and they're so big they block access to the whole side of your vehicle. So who is the shower awning for? If you have somewhere to mount it, I'd tell most people to get the shower awning. It's only a touch more expensive than the pop-up tent. It's way ahead in build quality. It's perfect to set up for a shower every few nights on those longer trips, or for the occasional time when you need to carry a cassette toilet. However, if you like setting up for longer periods, or you'd really love to have a double ensuite, I don't think this is for you. I think you need to stick around for the third and final option. Welcome to the double ensuite. This is what they call the fast frame design. This particular one is a Coleman Instant Up double ensuite, which retails between $200 and $250. It's pretty much brand new to me. This is only the second time I've popped it up. So I'm working on a review for it. Make sure you subscribe and stick around if you're interested to see my thoughts and views later down the track. For now, let's take a look at how long it takes me to set this thing up. Okay, now that there is the rain fly. It's optional, and probably should have put it on first because the thing's too tall for me to get it over the top. And now that she's all set up, I'll give you a quick walkthrough. Bit of a walk around. You got a door here. You got a little spot to put your shower hose through. You can see the fast up frame on the outside there. They put all this around the joins because apparently you can get pinched in these joins and it hurts. Another big door there, another big window there. I'll show you that from the inside. Another spot for a hose or a cord to come through so you can use either side for a shower. Oh yeah, this here is a towel rack. You've got a way on the other side. You can hang a towel rack here as well, but I'll show you what I've done instead. This is a little bit of extra storage. You just clip it on. You fit that afterwards if you want to. Spots to poke stuff down there. Velcro ties to tie your shower head up to. Then you could fix it to that. Maybe to that steel hook if you wanted. Got a divider here, so someone could have a shower here while someone could use the toilet on that side. Don't know if I'd be so into that myself. There you go, you can tie this door back so you can have it one big area. Maybe you could use this for your shower, zip that off, have this for a change room. See, I've put the other towel rack in here. Nice and strong. There's an extra piece that you can clip in up here. It's got elastic so you could tuck your clothes in there. It comes with this little toilet roll holder that just clips on. Probably more for after you've used the shower. Big windows to help you dry it out. Pros and cons, round 3. Fight. Pro number 1. This is the sturdiest freestanding option. Pro number 2. This is the easiest option if you want a double ensuite. Now I've hit on this double ensuite thing for the whole duration of this video, so I thought I should probably explain kind of why I like the idea. It's not so much because you can have a shower on one side and your toilet on the other. Yes, you can do that. I don't think that's how I'd really want to use it. If someone was taking a shower, I think I'd just wait to use the toilet. What I really love is having a wet room and a dry room. Hang up your towel or your clothes in the room next to you, step across next door, have your shower. You've got that door to zip between them both, so all your dry stuff stays dry. That's going to be great if it's like a really windy campsite, or like sand whipping up if you're camping on the beach, or even if it's just really cold. Pro number 3, you get a roof. It's fully closed off. It's got insect mesh everywhere. There's no privacy concerns. There's no problems with flies, mozzies, or sand flies. It's all a lot more private and closed in. Pro number 4 is you get a much higher weight capacity to hang your shower and your accessories than you do with the pop-up tent. Now weirdly enough, Coleman doesn't have a specification for how much weight that frame can hold, but if you look at something like the Darchi fast frame tent, they say that one can hold a 20 kilo shower bag. Pro number 5 is one that's shared with the pop-up tents. Set up for your base camp, put this in the most convenient place, it stays there for the whole duration of your camp while you go out on day trips in your vehicle. It's time for some cons. Con number 1 is the price. This is the most expensive option. Con number 2, it's the heaviest option. This thing weighs 7.9 kilos. Although having said that, you do get a roof, and it is a double, and it's fully enclosed. So it's really not too bad going. Con number 3 is that whether you get the double or a single, this is going to take up the most packing space of all 3 of our options. Con number 4 is that most models seem to have a fixed floor. Now that saves you a little bit of time on setup, but if your floor gets full of sand or mud or even just wet after the shower, it's a bit harder to clean it out and dry it. Con number 5, that whether it's a double or a single, it's a little bit longer on the setup and pack up than the awning, but it is pretty similar on both counts to the pop-up. But wait a minute. If you want a double ensuite tent, I think this should be your only option. But it's not the only reason. Even if you only want a single, if you're going to use it often or you're going to set it up at a base camp for long periods, this thing beats the pop-up tent by a mile. The frame can hold more, the materials are just more premium, it doesn't move much in the breeze, they're really just better made for more frequent use. In my case, it beats the shower awning for base camping too, but not by much. Of course, most of the drawbacks of that shower awning are kind of null and void if you've got a caravan or camper trailer where you can hard mount it. But that sounds like a whole other discussion that we should continue down in the comments. So if you have any tips and tricks for camp showers and en-suites, make sure you join us down there in the comments section. Let everybody know what you think, and you might just be helping a fellow camper in the future.